bring in Peter King from the MMQB.com. Pete, let me go back to August 4th when I had Jay Glazer on. And Glazer just sort of passingly said that the NFL had not seen the videotape from the Ray Rice incident in Atlantic City. When did you get involved in that process of finding out or trying to find out if they had seen the video or not?
Dan, I talked to a good source of mine, and I would call this source impeccable. I believe it was around, I'm going to say it was around July 27, 28, somewhere, maybe 29. And this source told me that the NFL had seen the videotape, and my mistake in this was, because now I can't say with certainty that anybody with the league has seen it, although I'm not convinced that they haven't. My mistake was not vetting that from anybody in the league, and that's my mistake. But I believe that as we sit here right now, I think that there still is some question, at least in my mind, whether anybody from the league at any point before yesterday morning did actually see the tape.
I'm trying to process that, Peter. Do you feel like you were lied to? I
don't feel like I was lied to knowingly. No, I don't feel like I was purposely misled. I think that my source may have been wrong. That's disappointing, but my methodology in this is disappointing. I clearly made a mistake, and I should receive some scorn for it. There's no question about it. Yet, at the end of the day, I'm not positive that I was wrong. It's just that I have serious reservations about whether I was wrong or about whether I'm right, and I should have worked harder to confirm it. There's no doubt about it.
Where's this story go now?
I think this story goes to, I think this story goes beyond outrage, and I think inside the NFL office, Roger Goodell has to be asking his investigators if, I underline if, they really haven't seen the tape. I think if they haven't seen the tape, I think he has to ask his investigators, how on God's green earth did we not do this? Because not only do we now have the people from this hotel saying that if the NFL asked, we would have given it to them, but I just simply can't believe that an organization with the resources of the NFL can't find a way to see that tape. And the fact that, in essence, if what they're saying is true, that they didn't see the tape and they, in essence, took Ray Rice's word for it and his wife's word for it, I think that is a very poor investigative technique on their part.
What about the Ravens' role in all of this?
The Ravens for 6 years knew Ray Rice as a Boy Scout and as a great guy, a great teammate, a leader of the team. And I believe when something like that happens, you're very quick to believe him when he says this is a one-time. Now, it may be a one-time thing, but this is a one-time thing that my wife and I are fine. I made a mistake. We both made a mistake. And I think the Ravens just said, hey, we trust you. Good. And they didn't look into it the way they should. And I think this is going to be a template for the future, that no matter whether it's the most trustworthy guy on God's green earth and has nothing but a clean record in 5, 10, 12, 15 years in the NFL, that any charge like this, any case like this has to be vetted. And if I'm the NFL, one of the things I'm looking into is an independent investigative body, to look into cases like this. If you don't trust the people, and I'm sure that Roger Goodell trusts the people he has in his security department, his investigators, but in this case, either they or someone else inside the organization really let him down.
Peter King joining us live from the MMQB.com. Why was Ray Rice's suspension increased by the NFL yesterday? What was different? They knew what happened in the elevator, So why would they?
Well, I don't think they know. I think that this brings up a whole new question. This brings up a whole new question, which is we should probably. You asked what is next in the story. Well, I would like to know, what did Ray Rice say? How did Ray Rice and Janae Palmer say that she was knocked unconscious in the elevator? Did they say? And I don't know what they said, but I'd like to know what they said, because clearly, I think that if Ray Rice stood in front of the NFL commissioner and said, "I gave my fiance a roundhouse to the jaw and knocked her cold," I don't believe he said that to Roger Goodell. I believe if he had said that to Roger Goodell, there's a chance, probably a good chance, that the original suspension would have been longer than 2 games.
But he would still have a chance to play in the league, I would think.
I would. Well, I think so. I think he probably would. And it's why, somebody said to me today, well, will Ray Rice ever play in the NFL again? And I said, I'm going to say yes with an asterisk. My yes is that there have been so many people who have been rehabilitated from so many serious issues, that we've seen over the years, not only in football but in other things. Michael Vick, dog killing, all that stuff. But I think the difference here is, the reason I put an asterisk on it is that there's a videotape. There's not a videotape of any dogs dying related to Michael Vick. There's just testimony. And that, to me, I mean, you can't forget what you saw when you saw the Ray Rice videotape.
Roger Goodell's future. Does this have any impact?
I think it does. I think we need to see what happens in the next few days, and to see if there are any other pieces of evidence that really impact this story, that show the NFL not doing a good job. But I'm curious about how the owners are going to react to this, because at the end of the day, people on Twitter can scream, talk show hosts can scream, players can scream. But if 17 out of 32 owners scream loudly, or 3/4 of the owners scream loudly enough over this, then Roger Goodell could be in jeopardy. But, Dan, I don't think this rises to the level of the owners impeaching Roger Goodell. I think that they're going to have some serious questions for him. And again, the whole story isn't told yet, but I don't sense that the owners are going to be so upset about this that they'll want to replace him.
What's the one question? It can be directed to anybody, but the one question you want answered. What is it, and who do you want it answered by?
The one question I want answered, is, and again, I want to know, but the one question I would want answered only with sodium pentothal is, did you see the tape? And if not, why didn't you see the tape? And is it possible you didn't want to see the tape?
Thank you, Peter.
All the best, Dan. Thank you.
That's Peter King, Sports Illustrated senior writer, and the website, themmqb.com.